Nigel Brown is one of New Zealand's most significant artists and is a regular feature at Dunedin's Milford Galleries. But his latest exhibition is a collection of works created specifically and on display at the museum in Waitangi. Brown has been a full-time artist since 1972. He spent 14 years living at Cosy Nook along the Riverton coast and then moved to Dunedin a few years ago. But his childhood was spent growing up on a citrus farm in Tauranga, and he does miss that environment.
My relatives on one side of my family go back to the gold rush in central Otago, so there's certain irony in me being back down here, coming from subtropical Tauranga, where my father had gone to be a citrus grower, and so I was used to golden grapefruit and mandarins, and here I am down at the bottom of the South Island where it's hard to grow anything like that.
Brown's works also reflect his concern for native wildlife and the destruction of the environment.
We had a planting down at Cosy Nook when we lived there, and I've always been very aware of the different native plantings and preservation efforts throughout New Zealand, as well as being very aware of landslips and coastal erosion. Those two things are quite in my mind much of the time when I paint.
Brown's art is heavy with symbolism and features written text that will remind some viewers of the art of Colin McCann.
Oh yeah, well I was taught by McCann, and I don't, he used religious text. I use a lot of, New Zealand sayings, and in these recent paintings I've been using science, which I struggle with, and Maori, which I struggle with also, and sometimes mixing that up with very basic statements like, bloody good job, that sort of New Zealand directness,
Nigel Brown's exhibition at Waitangi runs until May, but other works of his are always on display at Dunedin's Milford Galleries. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.